I'm Peggy Woodruff. You're listening to Classical 89, KBYU-FM, and HD1, Provo, Salt Lake City, and Ogden, a service of Brigham Young University. It's 3.5 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we have something special this morning. We've done these in the past, and we hope to do more in the future. This is a concert preview of a marvelous ensemble that is in our state, the Timpanogos Symphony Orchestra. And with me in the studio, I have a couple of people. First, I'd like to introduce John Pugh, who is in charge of the whole thing. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, let me turn on your mic. That would help.
Thank you, Peggy. It's great to be here.
Good to have you. And we are talking about a concert that's coming up on the 28th and 29th of this month.
Next weekend.
Tragic Romantics. What a title. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, as we started programming this and thinking about these composers, Tchaikovsky, Schumann, and Brahms, we just thought about a bit of the tragedy in their lives and that this was kind of a common theme, Schumann with the problems that he had and then Brahms kind of being in love with Schumann's wife, Clara. And, of course, Tchaikovsky's the problems he had in his life. He died just days after the premiere of the Sixth Symphony, which we're doing. So they all tied in together, and we thought it was a catchy title, Tragic Romantics.
I am so excited about the Sixth Symphony. That is something special.
Well, it's one of my top loved pieces of all time.
Me too.
And it's a challenge for a group like ours, but I'm very proud of the orchestra. And, of course, I just love the music. I absolutely love this piece, and I think our audience will be pleased.
Oh, I suspect they will. If you want to go to their website, thetso.org, there's a great blog done by his son about how he was introduced to the Sixth Symphony when he was, 14 years old on Christmas Day. It's a great blog. Their website, again, is thetso.org. Don't do tso.org or you'll get Toronto or something, won't they?
Well, or the Texas Optical something, or I don't know.
Something. Well, there's another piece on this concert that has some really special qualifications. You need 4 really good people. Tell me about that.
So this concert piece by Schumann, the Concertstück, it's for 4 horns and orchestra. And this is kind of we like to have guest artists, and this is a little bit unique, to have 4 horns. So we're very excited to find the Sago Lily Horn Quartet. Actually, one of the members of the quartet, her sister, plays in the Timpanogos Symphony. And that was kind of the connection, Sonia Reynolds.
Okay.
We have Natalie with us today. But so this piece is for 4 horns and orchestra, and we've got this fabulous group of musicians, these 4 horn players who agreed to come and play with us. So we're just delighted.
Natalie, you're one of those 4 horn players.
That's right.
Welcome. We were thankful to have you in the studio.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
So how did this come about?
So this is actually our 3rd time playing the piece. We already played it with the Chamber Music Orchestra in Ogden, and then we also played at Temple Square with the Utah Premier Brass.
Marvelous.
So this is our 3rd time playing it, and every time it's been outstanding. It's been a total riot to get to play this a 3rd time.
John, did you want to play the piece first and then go looking for horns, or did you find out about the horn quartet and decide, we could do Schumann?
Well, the truth of the matter is Sonia Reynolds, who's the sister of Stacy Ramos in the orchestra, she contacted me and said, hey, would you guys be interested in having us play with you? And she mentioned this other piece, which I don't remember what it was. I didn't recognize it. And I said, I'd love to have you guys play with me, but I really want to do the Schumann. And so they said, okay. And so this has been a perfect marriage.
Natalie, how long of a rehearsal do you have for this concert? Do you just
the quartet or the quartet with the orchestra?
With
that's
the
actually
orchestra.
2 different questions. Yeah. So we've rehearsed with the orchestra now twice, and we'll have a dress rehearsal then the week of the concert. But of course, we meet as a quartet, regularly to rehearse. Just us.
Tell me about the other 3 members of your quartet, just their names and how long you've existed.
Sure. So Anita Miller is playing principal. She's doing a fantastic job. That principal horn part is like trying to walk a trapeze and
it is
play
amazing
Jenga at the same time. Yeah,
it's really high.
It's very, very high. Yeah, very much thought as one of the most like virtuosic things written for horn ever. Anita's lovely. She played in New York for a matter of years on Broadway, Lion King, all those shows. Laura Huggard is playing second. She was teaching at Utah State. Has now taken a break. Now her family moved to Heber City, so she's now just doing some freelancing. And Sonia Reynolds, who we've already mentioned, is playing third. I'm on fourth. You got the low part with you today in the studio. I'm in charge of tubbing out the low.
That's okay.
But those low notes are important.
That's right.
I've read your bio, Natalie. It's impressive.
Thank you.
Well, without further ado, let us hear the concert piece for four horns and orchestra by Robert Schumann. This is the Seattle Symphony Orchestra, led by Gerard Schwartz, with the Seattle Symphony Horn Section. That was the concert piece for four horns and orchestra by Robert Schumann, the Seattle Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Gerard Schwartz. With me in the studio is Dr. Natalie Douglas, hornist with the Sago Lily Horns.
That's right.
Welcome to the studio. And that piece is really substantial and really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it runs the range of the horn, for starters. The first horn part goes all the way up to high E's, which is traditionally we're playing maybe to high C. Like, this is just...
I'm thinking Schumann was really optimistic when he considered that people were going to be able to find four hornists that good.
Well, this was a cool time in horn history for us. When it was written, the valve horn, as we know it today, all the spaghetti and all the keys on the horn, that was a recent invention. Previous to that, maybe you've seen, the guys on horseback holding horns that look like bugles with no valves.
Yeah.
So Schumann was writing for a new instrument that he actually knew from or had heard played in Wagner operas, this valved horn. So I think he was really kind of fascinated by the possibilities of that instrument.
Yes.
So yeah, I think optimistic's a good word for it.
Well, that piece, the concert piece for four horns and orchestra, is going to be played on the 28th and 29th of September at the Timberline Middle School.
That's right, Timberline Middle School.
And that is an auditorium that any school would be proud to have.
Yes.
I've been in that. It's a great venue. And the Sago Lily Horns are going to take those four parts, are they not, Natalie?
That's right. Yep. We'll be up in front of the orchestra. It's cool. We know normally we're, in the back. So it's cool to get to stand up in front.
This is all part of a concert called Tragic Romantics by the Timpanogos Symphony Orchestra at Timberline Middle School, 7:30 p.m. on the 28th and 29th. And it isn't just that piece that you'll hear, but the Brahms Tragic Overture, and also Symphony No. 6, the Pathetique by Tchaikovsky, and what a great one that's going to be. We're going to hear a little piece from that right now, the third movement of No. 6 by Tchaikovsky. We'll hear it performed by the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Pavel Järvi. Pavel Järvi and the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra in the Symphony No. 6, Pathetique of Peter Tchaikovsky. You might think, John, that that's the finale to the symphony, wouldn't you?
You might think that, yeah.
But no, it's the third movement.
Right. And it's hard for audiences to not clap after that because it's so exciting.
It really is.
It's interesting as I've watched and listened to recordings of live performances. Some audiences do clap after that, and some are quiet and wait for the fourth movement. But it's a thrilling end of that movement.
It truly is. And it's going to be a thrilling concert because that is going to be the last piece in your concert. What else have you got?
Yes, so we're going to start with the Brahms Tragic Overture. That's our opener. It's about 12 or 13 minutes. And then we'll have the Sego Lily Horn Quartet with us, and we'll perform the Schumann. That's the first half of our program. So there's really only three pieces of music on the program: the Brahms, the Schumann, we have an intermission, and then the second half is the Tchaikovsky.
Because it's long.
It's 47 minutes or
yeah.
something. Yeah, it's a long piece, but a great one. Every moment of that piece is just
It truly
engaging.
is. It is memorable. It is special. I love it. Give us the particulars about the concert, where and when.
So we do 2 nights, Friday, September 28th, and Saturday, September 29th. So that's next weekend. They're at 7:30 p.m. at Timberline Middle School in Alpine. The address is 500 West Canyon Crest Road. Tickets are available online or at the door. It's $12 for general admission, $9 for seniors and students. We have a group rate also. It's a beautiful auditorium. You know, sometimes when I tell people it's a middle school, they say, oh, they imagine the gym.
Yeah,
it's
truly.
Not like that at all.
It's not. No, any high school or college would be pleased to have that venue,
Yeah.
I think.
I actually looked around when we first started the Timpanogos Symphony. I must have visited 6 or 8 different schools looking for what I thought would be a good performance venue, and this is the one that I chose because it's really beautiful.
It really is lovely. Yeah. The Timpanogos Symphony Orchestra has been around since 2011, and they've got a great reputation. And so, please, if you have nothing to do on the 28th and 29th of September, this is a marvelous concert to attend. Brahms,
Even if you have
Schumann,
something else,
Tchaikovsky.
this is probably more important.
Yeah, drop it and go. We've also been glad to have Dr. Natalie Douglas here, one of the hornists for the Schumann piece on next Friday and Saturday. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
We hope to get a huge crowd to this marvelous concert by the Timpanogos Symphony Orchestra, Tragic Romantics.